During the spring market, it typically is a very much a seller's market, especially the last few years. You really can see a lot of bidding wars, sellers getting all the terms they want, buyers fighting over houses. As the year progresses, that tends to slow down. So, usually in the spring, that's the peak of the market. That's when prices tend to go up. And then they kind of taper off throughout the summer and they come down a little bit in the fall, only to start picking back up again, just after the holiday season. Listings kind of coincide with that, where there's more listings in the spring and less in the fall, but there's still plenty of listings on the market right now in the fall. So if you're a buyer who is searching for a home in the spring and you kind of said, well, maybe this year's not our year, we'll try again next year, get out of that herd mentality that people tend to follow. So a lot of buyers go into the market at the same time in the spring, exit the market at the same time, during the summer and the fall, and then try again the next spring, and they're all fighting over the same houses. Whereas if you were to start your search now in the fall, you may not be in a bidding war. You may be able to get a decent price on a home. You may be able to submit an offer and get it accepted or do some negotiation, probably get some inspections thrown in there too. So if you were trying to buy in the spring and you took a break, now's the time to get back in. Yes, I know interest rates are higher. People have been waiting for interest rates to go down since they started going back up, 19, 20 months ago. And everyone expects them to eventually go back down, but what if they just keep going up? So, in a year from now, if rates are at 10%, you're going to think the 7.5% rate's pretty good. A year ago, rates were right around, 6%, maybe a little bit less than 6%. Any buyer buying today would think that 6% rate's pretty darn good right now. So, the best time to buy is when you're ready, but the fall has a lot of advantages to it because there is less competition in the fall, and there tends to be a little bit of ease on the price in the fall as well. And, I pulled up some stats from the Maine Association of Realtors to kind of show that. So, going back to 2019, because we're kind of shifting back to a normal market. So I pulled the normal market 2019. We've got the COVID year in there right up through this year. What prices have done when they peaked in June and then started to cool in August. We don't have September numbers yet. But in 19, prices peaked in the state of Maine at an average price of $239,000, but then it retraced a little bit by the end of August to $230,000. 2020 was a unique year. That's when things started accelerating. We had a delayed market, but prices were $249 at the end of June. By the end of August, they were up to $270. That one's a little bit of an outlier, but 2021 was pretty unique as well. And we were kind of shifting. I think we were kind of in the midst of it, but we're getting back to a normal market, throughout that year. And 2021 was actually a flat year when you compare June to August. So it was 310 end of June. Average prices were 310 end of August of 2021. 2022, the average price in June was $360,000. And then we had the normal seasonality where things started to slow down a little bit. And the average price by the end of August was $340. And everyone's saying, okay, here it is. The market's starting to go down, but there's still so little inventory that it actually didn't go down at all. So you fast forward to June of 2023. So June 2022, the high price or the median sales price in the state of Maine was $360,000. August, it went down to $340. June 2023, the average price in the state of Maine was $385,000. And then this past August, it retraced a little bit as well back to $372. So not as much of a retracement, but a normal seasonal retracement in price. So what does that mean? Are you overpaying for a house if you were to buy one now because they might go lower? I think probably not. I mean, if you look at the history here, even with with June's high of 360 of 2022, June of 23 was still higher than that at 385. So prices tend to peak in the spring. They start to taper in the summer, and they start to, level off again in the fall. And then they go back up the next spring. As the years go on, holding real estate long term, it tends to go up. So if you are thinking about buying a home, now is a great time to get in the market and get yourself a house and get home before the holiday season. Thanks, everybody. Have a great day.